I've been meaning to film this review for like a couple weeks, but I've just been fucking lazy. So today I'm talking about Nothing, the 2000 and I don't even know what year it came out. 2003, I think. Today we're talking about Nothing, the 2003 existential comedy from Vincent, the director of Cube. The premise is that two housemates walk outside and discover the entire world is gone, and it is just an empty white void. You may be wondering, how do you make a movie about that? You kind of don't. One of the biggest criticisms I see of this movie is that it should have been a short film, but we'll get into that later and why it's not really a problem for me. Basically, you have these two housemates and they're very good friends. They're almost brothers. They have a remarkably shitty day. I do have some problems with this opening, which I guess I'll get into later, but they have a shitty day. And when everything kind of comes together and is at its worst it could possibly be, that's when the outside world just disappears. And basically the rest of the movie is them trying to figure out why this happened, if there's a way out, and pretty much everything you would go through if this actually happened. I don't think I want to go into explicit detail about why this happens or the developments of the movie because, like I said, I love it and this is a recommendation. It's not like Escape from Tomorrow where I'm fine running through the whole film because I don't like it. But even in that video, I didn't really run through the whole film. It was just kind of, I used more specific examples, whereas in this video I may be a little more vague because I actually want people to watch this movie. And I'm not gonna get too deep into spoilers, but I will mention some things. Now, a lot of people don't like this movie. And yeah, I see why. It's not difficult to tell why. It's fucking weird, and honestly, the comedy doesn't always work. There is some comedic elements and they kind of go for an absurd tone, which I thought didn't fit because, like I said, part of the reason why I liked it is because it kind of treats this fantasy scenario realistically, at least marginally, until you get to the more absurdist moments, and it felt off.
We've been walking for 34 hours, and yet I'm still unable to determine where the light is coming from. The sun, the moon, from above, from beneath.
Why don't you tell them that we ran out of food?
And yet the light continues to illuminate the vast expanse of emptiness to the north.
Tell them how we haven't eaten anything for 12 hours.
Hang on a second. It also continues to illuminate the vast expanse of emptiness, the nothing, if you will, to the south. And also the nothingness to the east and west.
Tell them how we have nothing left to mark a trail with.
Andrew, please. The air quality seems stable, and yet air pressure seems non-existent. It is neither hot nor cold.
Tell them how if we keep going, we're gonna lose the trail, get lost, and die.
Shut up. We were able to walk without falling through into more nothing, but the surface itself is also nothing.
Yes! Nothing! They get it! There's nothing! There's nothing out here, and there's nothing to say!
So yeah, I totally get that some people will not like this movie. In fact, a lot of people will probably hate this movie. I feel like I need to acknowledge, I love this film, if you couldn't tell already. I'm very clearly biased towards this movie. And that's the thing with this movie. I find that the flaws make it better for some odd reason. Like the comedic elements not working, and some of the problems I have with the opening, like I said, and it's almost like a movie like Evil Dead. Not exactly, because Evil Dead's more of a so bad it's good thing, but the flaws add to the experience. It feels like a bunch of friends banding together and making a movie, which is actually kind of what it is. You see, the crew were all real life friends since high school. The director and the two leads were friends since high school, and the movie is about friendship. So that theme is one-to-one with what the directors and the actors were feeling, and all of the mistakes just kind of add to it because it's just friends doing what they love, making a movie. And yeah, they put the comedic elements in there because that's what they found funny, and that's kind of great. Although if we are going to talk about the theme of friendship, is very explicitly the main theme of the movie, but I did find it was the weakest. Like, I do think this movie has multiple themes, but the friendship one was kind of the weakest. At the end, it gets a little too overt for my liking, but it was still touching. And like I said, the fact that it is not only just a theme in the movie, is actually kind of a true story about the making of the movie is great, and I love it. This isn't just me reading in too deep to this, by the way, because the characters and the actors have the same names. They're encouraging you to kind of think about this in a meta way, that this is reflective of real life.
The following is a true story. The people are actual people. Their names are their actual names. Everything has been thoroughly researched and verified.
So if the friendship theme is the weakest, what do I consider to be the best theme? It is the premise of, I guess I am going to reveal this, eventually, in their isolation, they learn that the reason the world has disappeared is because they have learned that they can hate things away.
It's back! The disappearing thing's back! Get down!
What?
The clock! It disappeared! Get down!
I did it. What? I made the clock disappear.
No, you didn't. The disappearing thing did.
No, it was me. I did this. It's my fault. This whole thing is my fault.
What the hell are you talking about?
I was sitting there, listening to the clock counting down the final minutes to our death. I was thinking about how much I hated it, and then it disappeared. And that's exactly what happened when the whole world disappeared. I was thinking about how much I hated it, and then it was gone. Oh, God. It's my fault. I don't know how, but I did this. I did this. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Whoa. Just hold on, Mr. Big Shot. You're not the only person who's thinking about how much you hated the world just before it disappeared.
You were thinking the same thing?
Yeah, exactly the same thing.
Were you thinking about the clock that way, too?
Well, no.
The metaphor of just literally making things that you hate disappear. Andrew is agoraphobic. He already hates the world and never leaves his house, and, you know, just is too scared to go outside, which, yeah, hit home. Kind of another reason I'm biased towards liking this movie, because I am a shut-in, so kind of, but I like this idea of taking it literally, where you can make things disappear by hating them too much. And if you hate away everything, then what are you left with? Because they start by hating away things that are pretty bad, the outside world, time, but then they start just getting kind of annoyed at things and erasing them as well. They're great because Andrew is kind of this shut-in, but Dave is really this everyman, and they're both very relatable. Not just to me, but I feel like anyone could find something to relate to in either of them. And let's not dance around it. The problem I have with the opening is that it does get a bit into the Joker category, where it's like, okay, we have to make their life look like total shit, so here's the checklist of all the things we need to have happen to our characters to make you feel like their life is shitty. And it kind of just, and I get it, like, I get why that had to happen, and it is kind of played as tongue-in-cheek, but it did just kind of, it did make me go like, is this the movie? I also love the kind of, I don't know the actual like artistic term. I'm not like artistically literate enough to know what kind of art style this is, but I love the kind of abstract, almost cartoon logic of just having half of a house in the middle of a highway. I see some complaints, the main one being that it should have been a short film. I couldn't disagree with this more, because it honestly felt like a short film. I did not think of the length of this movie one bit. Maybe it was just me. I was completely engrossed in it and didn't even think about how much time was being spent. And I get why people say it should have been a short film, because there are a lot of scenes that, like, you could have said this, gotten to the point quicker, but I kind of like that it is meandering a little bit. It helps you to not just realize, oh, this is what this scene is for, this is the point they're trying to make. It makes you kind of dwell on it and makes you not only realize what it's trying to say, but kind of feel what it's trying to say. Because it's one thing to just realize, oh, this is what the movie's getting at, this is what the movie's trying to say, and to actually feel that, and to have the movie affect you in that way. And I think having a more slower to the point kind of scene helps for that effect. I have to admit, I've alluded to it here and there, but this movie was made for me. I highly doubt that any other people are gonna love this movie as much as I do. Because like I said, I am like a shut-in. I love making movies. I made movies with my friends before. One was about friendship. In fact, two of them were. I love low fantasy movies. I love Cube. I do like absurdist comedy, even though I didn't think it was done that well in this film, but I do like it. And I could probably keep going with the reasons, but I'm gonna stop it there for brevity's sake. I do think it was only made for me, and that I'm going to be the only one who loves it this much, but to me it is perfect. It is perfect in its imperfection, which sounds like a pretentious 9th grade literature essay thing to say, but it's I think that. I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but I do recommend you watch it to at least form an opinion on it, because it is, above all else, unique. I've never seen, even though it has been directly compared to Cube, and it's even been called a spiritual sequel, it's not like Cube at all. Cube is another movie that I think the imperfections make it better, by the way. I haven't seen this director's other work. I can't pronounce his name, that's why I'm not pronouncing it. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen any of his other work. I'm gonna watch it. I did like his short film Elevated. That was alright, but I'll check out his other stuff later. It's nothing like you've seen before, and with how factory made a lot of movies can feel, I think that's valuable, even if you don't end up liking it. It also has the best poster ever made, Fight Me. You know, I think this review show, or whatever it is, I think it's been getting a little too heady. Next month, I think I'm gonna go for some good old-fashioned trash. We've been thinking too much. So I guess I'll see you then. I'll give you a hint. It's, I I don't know how I could give a hint. It's ABCs of Death too.